Hello and welcome again. In the previous video, we discussed a little bit more about the structure of the DES, and we were actually talking about the rounds and how the F function was crucial in the rounds. Now let's recall a little bit more of what we discussed about that function F, the F function. Now, one of the things that is important here is, if you remember from the last video, is the F function has two inputs. One of the inputs is the right hand side of the previous block, which goes here into the F function, and also the key, the sub key coming from the key decay sub I, which is a 48 bit, and the right hand side here is going to be a 32 bit. And remember, that's because this whole block is 64 and is divided into 32 bits on the left, 32 bits on the right. So the F function is going to take these two inputs of 32 bits, what we call Ri minus 1, which happens in the ith round, and the Ki sub key coming from the actual key K, and the output has to be a 32 bit. So that's what we said last time. And I remember, if you remember the last video, you saw it with the left hand side, and then of course this goes into the right, and the right hand side goes into the left. And that's how the picture is. But we are interested now in looking exactly at what this function f here is doing. So let's look at a little bit more of a picture here what the f is. So it's going to look inside this box. So we're going to open it and see how this function f here, the structure of this function f is. So I'm going to go scroll down here, and you remember the formulas. This picture that I'm going to show you here is the inner structure of the function f. Now, I'll go into a little bit more detail of everything here, but for now, let's look at these details. Now, this Ri minus 1, the one that you see here, is the right-hand side of the previous 64 block. This is one of the inputs of that function, so let me mark that down. So this one is an input of the function f. And over here on this side, you see the Ki that is right here on the right hand side. That's Ki. This is the other input of that f function. So now we're going to mark that down as an input. So this is also an input. So that's an input of the function, right? All right. What's going to happen with that? So what's going to happen with that is that this right hand side of the previous block, which is a 32-bit, because remember it's a 64-bit, but that was divided into two halves, it's going to go here into this box that is called an